Hey, I am Casey Gray, and you are watching another episode of the Conscious Builder Show. Today's episode is a continuation from a previous video where we talked about the difference between a cost-plus contract and a fixed-price contract. So I did want to break down a little bit more into those fees. So one of the things that I've realized after being in business after so many years is that people are happy to pay for what they can see and often question what they can't see. So if we go back to the two different ways of pricing, you could be paying cost plus, so maybe there's an hourly rate for something, as well as a percentage markup on other things, as opposed to a fixed price where there's just going to be a certain amount of work or a certain part of the project that's done for this fixed price. In which case, the work is done, you pay for it, or maybe there's a deposit, whatever it may be. The other way is perhaps you're paying by the hour, and then any materials might have a markup. So for example, one of the ways that a business can bill, at least on the cost plus, is by the hour. So many businesses do this in many different industries. So in construction, a typical rate for a skilled trade, at least where we live, might be $75 per hour and up, right? Whether it's plumber, electrician, mechanical person, carpenter, in our case, whatever it may be. So somebody does an hour of work, you pay for that hour of work at the rate that you've agreed to. So for us, what we've done is we've broken down our rates into three different categories. We have our carpenters and site supervisors at one rate. Often our site supervisors, well, not often, our site supervisors are carpenters, so if they're doing carpentry work, it's the same rate. And then we have our apprentices, and then we have our helpers at another rate. On the other side, what we do is we have a markup percentage, right? Because there's all sorts of things that need to be paid for within a business, right? Or within a project that is not necessarily, you're not able to do it by the hour. Perhaps if it's a business overhead expense, it's going to be covered by all of the projects, not just one project. So there are things, that I expanded on in the other video, like there's going to be all sorts of marketing, there's going to be office personnel, there's going to be insurance and taxes and events and training and all sorts of other overhead expenses, vehicles and mileage and all sorts of stuff that need to be paid for, that need to be covered by the projects ultimately, wherever the income is coming in. So what we've done, and what is often going to be done in a cost plus contract, is that when a bill comes in or an invoice or receipt, there's an agreement as to what the markup will be on that bill or receipt. So this is what we call, at least in the way we do our contracts, the markup percentage. So an example of this might be, for example, you buy a toilet. So if you're doing a cost plus contract and you have an agreement as to whatever the percentage is on any materials or subcontractors or deliveries, there's going to be the cost plus the 15%, let's just say. So if a toilet costs you $500, there's going to be 15% marked up on that toilet. On the other side, if you're in a fixed price contract, you don't really know what that toilet cost. You're just going to be billed whatever the contractor is going to bill you because you have a fixed price. So it's worked into their project somewhere, into their project costs. So if you want to get a little more detail on the differences between a fixed price contract and a cost plus contract, you can check out the video description below. There will be a link to the previous video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Conscious Builder Show.